Professor Madhu Veeraraghavan is the Director and TAPMI Chair Professor of Finance at TAPMI Management Institute, Manipal. He obtained his MBA, Finance and Investments and Ph.D, Asset Pricing from Griffith University, Australia. He has held positions at the University of Auckland Business School, Associate Professor 2003-2005 and Monash University, Melbourne, Professor, Head of the Department of Accounting and Finance. He has a teaching experience of more than 17 years and has published over 50 papers in international journals and has presented his work in top conferences in finance and accounting.
In an ecosystem where we see this race between a lot of B schools to increase the number of programs, to increase the number of seats, TAPMI under your leadership has decided to buck the trend. Right from 420 seats for PGDM students, this year 300 seats have been proposed. You're reducing the overall intake at TAPMI. For an aspirant, it is going to be much more difficult to get an admit from TAPMI. Yes. Why has this decision been taken now? And how does this align with your vision for TAPMI?
Okay, you're absolutely right. This is really going against conventional wisdom. Every school would say 420 to 540. We're saying 420. Yeah, maybe. Trends. Probably a better word than wisdom. So 420 to 300. This was not, Ayush, this was not taught overnight. This was a very carefully, we've been discussing this internally with select group of senior faculty. I've been talking to them about where do we want TAPMI to be in 10 years? Do we want TAPMI to churn out more and more grads? Do we want TAPMI to position in such a way that we are not about quantity, we are about quality? Obviously, your point about, there are some aspirants who are going to miss out because we have lost or we'll be giving away 120 seats. So let's look at strategically where it's going to put us. By bringing it down to 300, we are now telling the market that we are only looking at people who genuinely want a high-class, top-notch B school education, where the focus is going to be heavily on experiential learning and where the focus is also going to be on participant-centered learning. If I have 420, 540 students, Ayush, we're going to talk about like 9 or 10 sections. And I fear that in this race of getting more top-line revenue, we are probably not going to be able to do a great job looking at each one of you and developing and nurturing potential. If I have 300 students today, we're talking about 5 sections. In each of these 5 sections, I can pick my best faculty to do an outstanding job with these students. I'm not saying we've not done it in the past, but I'm saying that it's sort of a distraction hypothesis. You have too many people in the line, and there is not much attention we're able to give to everybody. And my view is, good schools should have the programs with smaller number, where you and I are able to have a lot of conversation, meaningful conversation, and then help that candidate achieve his or her potential. To me, that's far more important than the 10 or 12 crores that we would have made by having 420, 540 students. And I also have to tell you this. I think it's amazing to have a trust, the TAPMI trust, to actually say, you know what, Madhu, this is the right thing for you to do. This is something, Ayush, it's not easy. Normally, trusts would say, what are you doing? Are you out of your mind? I mean, why are you cutting down the numbers? And here is my trust, my TAPMI trust, which is made up of some of the most amazing people. And when I presented the strategy to them, my trustee, headed by Ranjan Pai, said, Madhu, go for it. I think this is a very good strategy for TAPMI. It'll position us on these top schools. And Ayush, my vision is very, very simple. In fact, I articulated Vision 2020 when I just took over. Currently we rank 15, 17, some will say 19, some will say 17. And I think by cutting down numbers, by having great focus on these people, by giving them amazing holistic experience, education experience. And by the way, we're restructuring the entire PGDM program. It's not just the intake. The intake has a very good reason why we are doing it. We're also going to rewrite the PGDM curriculum. And I will talk to you in a few minutes about how we're doing it. And that will really put TAPMIans several notches ahead, above graduates of other competitor comparable B schools. So it's a very strategic decision. It's not operational. It's not about money. It is purely about me positioning TAPMI as an outstanding brand in the minds of corporates, in the minds of all stakeholders, alumni, families, aspirants, current students, to say, hey, we are now going to a school that clearly tells you that we are not about quantity. We are looking at outstanding Indians coming into the program, and maybe in the next decade, they are going to be heading top-notch corporations. That is a very, very clear roadmap that I wish to lay for TAPMI.